everybody. Welcome to the Half Hour Power live stream. Mark is here. Mark, how are you, Mark?
Doing all right tonight.
Of course, Mark is from the Toys of the Time Gone By show. Go over there and check him out.
Come on by.
What do you
I
got
got
in your
some
room there?
hot
What is
coffee on there for you.
that? Hot coffee.
Hot coffee.
There you go. Hot coffee. There we go. We're going to do this again, aren't we? We're going to do a Screen Rant article.
Ooh. Yeah.
But this one, it's not really a terrible article. It's not really that the article is bad to me. Did you get a chance to read this article? Because I sent this one to you.
Well, I looked at the article and I seen what it's about, and then I was a little iffy with the article. You talk about it. I'll give you my opinion.
I mean, you know what I mean. The article itself isn't bad. It's just the contents, I think, are the subject matter. I think is very iffy. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to bring the article up, aren't we?
Yes.
So, some of you that say I pick on Screen Rant, this really isn't a bad Screen Rant article. It's just anybody could have published this, so it's not really that the article's bad. So, all right. So, what is it? Let's pull it up here. Right? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So that's a little bit deceptive, I think. Why The Exorcist is more difficult to reboot than Halloween. Okay, so the writer, Scott Teems, is talking about the writing process. So I guess that David Gordon Green and Danny McBride write with Scott Teems for this Exorcist. So you've got now so far. Okay, we've talked about this on the show, and I think we talked a little bit here in one of the live streams, maybe. I don't know. But on the podcast, on the Half Hour Power podcast, Jesse and I talked about it. If people don't know, if they're not up to speed, they're talking about making another Exorcist movie, and it's the same team that made the Halloween 2018. And I guess I got to say it again. The worst Halloween movie I've ever seen, Halloween Kills. Just no excuse for that movie. That's terrible. They're doing a sequel to The Exorcist. And this is the part that I'm thinking of that just makes me go, what? They're going to bring back Ellen Burstyn to reprise her role as Chris McNeil. But, and I still haven't seen anything about it yet. The last I saw, they have not talked to Linda Blair, and they're not going to bring Linda Blair back. I'm not against Ellen Burstyn being in it. But why would you bring her back but not Linda Blair?
Makes no sense.
What? Why would you only bring her back? And the plot just sounds like, okay, thank you.
I'm sure okay, little Lynn would need the money.
I mean, why? Why? So some fellow is her. The last plot I saw was some fellow's kid is possessed, so he decides to go for help, and the person he goes to help for, and it doesn't say when he goes to her for help. It's just a very basic thing. He goes to talk to Chris McNeil. Huh?
Why would you talk?
Huh?
How are they going to explain this? What happened to Reagan?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Now,
They're going to
you
kill
and
her
I
off?
talked the last Exorcist live stream we did, and that's funny to think we actually did one. We were talking about an article that was talking about the true story that
Yeah.
The Exorcist was based on. Now, people wanted to talk to the boy that was
Rolling
possessed.
down.
So, yeah, so they wanted to talk to him. So, and that this is in real life. So, the book I read, the writer of that book actually talked to the boy. Now he wasn't a boy when he talked to him, obviously, but I guess I got to say that to make sure the timeline is correct. He wasn't a boy, but he talked to him. He interviewed him. I think by the time he did that, I think both of his parents had passed. So I think he would have talked to the parents also. So he talked to everybody that he could talk to that was still alive in connection to that case, that 1949 exorcism. So that book is The Devil Came to St. Louis. You should go pick that up and get that at the American Hauntings website. It's an excellent book. And there's a podcast, an excellent podcast about that. But, I'm just trying to think about, okay, so if you're going to make a movie like that, they wanted to talk to the boy in real life. So why would they not make a movie where they want to talk to Reagan? I could get why they want to talk to Chris McNeil, but you really want to talk to Reagan to see what she remembers. And even if she says she remembers nothing, But this would be the first time we would see Reagan in an Exorcist movie since that horrible Exorcist 2.
Maybe she doesn't want to do it.
From what I saw, they had not talked to her.
Hmm.
So I haven't seen any updates about them talking to her yet, which I'm like, why would you not bring her back? Why would you not talk to her? Unless she flat out is like, I'm just not going to do it. But I would think that she would do it if Ellen Burstyn is going to do it. And as far as I know, she's still in to be Chris McNeil again. So I would think if you get her back, it's not that hard to get Reagan back. Everybody else, I don't think. I mean, Max von Sydow has passed. Of course, his character was dead anyway, so he can't be in you can't do a cameo.
You can get the old lady back. You can make her a digitized ghost.
Get the old lady back. Okay. So we brought everybody up to speed here a little bit. Let's look at the article some more. Let's see what he says here. All right, so Scott Teems is talking about the upcoming continuation of The Exorcist. So here you go. Follows the possession. Okay, blah, blah. Then, they do a little synopsis of The Exorcist. If you haven't seen The Exorcist, I don't know what the heck is wrong with you. If you've seen Halloween Kills and you've not seen The Exorcist, something is wrong with you, and you might need to go see something. You might need some mental help.
Well, or you might need to go under a rock or in another country.
Under a rock. You need some mental help.
Where
I'm going to go with that. So
there was no TV.
It could be. So here you go. You see here the interview comes from comicbook.com. So he talks about the writing process with David Gordon Green and Danny McBride. So here's the quote. Here's this quote. So that was early in our COVID project. Every Friday morning during the beginning of COVID in early 2020, we'd meet over Zoom, me and David and Danny, Jason Blum. And we would pitch ideas and we would bounce ideas around and go off and write. And David would go off and write and we'd come back together and pitch more ideas. We spent a couple of months doing that. And then we got the story that we were excited about. And we presented it. So it wasn't until we were really sure. We didn't want to just do it to do it. We knew we had something we all believed in and we all found it. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I mean, that's very vague. So, okay, I get that, right? Mm-hmm. So we got nothing yet, right, Mark?
Nothing.
There's nothing. Let's see if there's something else. Because I remember reading this and going, oh, yeah, we could talk about that. Let's see. Oh, boy. Here we go. So, I mean, you got to have that picture in there, right? That's got to be there. All right, so here they go. Exorcist. He talks about how Exorcist is a higher standing in horror than Halloween for many reasons. Blah. It's been confirmed pre-production of the film has started with Burstyn to reprise her role. See, so right there, Gordon Green is going to direct. Burstyn is back. No mention of Linda Blair. Okay, so Teams is right when saying The Exorcist is more highly regarded for it paved the way for horror as an elevated genre. Okay, I don't really have anything to say about that, but all right. Yeah, Exorcist legendary effects, cerebral terror. Here you go with iconic again. Iconic score helped it become a landmark of the genre. It'll be much more difficult to continue for modern audiences. What does that mean? It'll be difficult to continue this for modern audiences. What's that mean, Mark?
Maybe they don't think that the people today are smart enough to understand the movie. I just okay. I think it, well my I think no. I think that the fact of the matter is they don't think that people can because of all the special effects and all that in movies that you need to make them to like stimuli whatever I'm saying here.
There's not enough CGI in the background. What's going on? I'm used to cities disintegrating with CGI.
That's what they need, and that's the problem.
I need a CGI. What is that? A prosthetic on her face? Oh,
that has to be digital. But that's what I'm saying. Like this is what I think they think. Which you know what? They're half right though.
They are. So, however, after the success of Halloween, Green McBride, and now Teams have earned a little credit in continuing horror classics. Hopefully, they can keep it going for The Exorcist release in 2023. So, we really don't have a lot of wait time, really. There's not a lot of time to wait. So, I don't know if that's good or not. So, Mr. Teams.
You cannot. This article is right. It is going to be hard to reboot Exorcist. I'd like to see them try, but
you know what?
You can't.
This is not a reboot, is it?
No, I'm saying it's not a reboot. It's probably continuation. If it's continuation,
I want to look up Mr. Teams and see what else he's written.
But you can't reboot it. Because if you try to reboot that movie, everybody is going to crap on it.
Well, see, that's what I don't understand. They keep throwing around these other terms. So, reboot, reimagining. I remember in 2005, I was tired of the reimagining term,
Like Willy Wonka.
So I'm looking up Mr. Teams here to see what he has written, to see, maybe we can get a feel for what he's done.
No, but look.
Of course, Halloween Kills.
Reimagining, redo, reboot, read this.
Yeah.
Come on, right, why can't the movie stand on its own? It stands on its own. It doesn't need a reboot.
Yeah. So
he wrote
the Firestarter remake that nobody saw. Nobody saw that. That bombed worse than the 1984 Firestarter.
I didn't see that.
Now, see, there's a little bit with books. I feel a little bit differently about books and movies based on books because you've got the Firestarter from 1984, which was based on the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this Firestarter, and I haven't looked any of this up. This new Firestarter that just came out, is that based on the book? Is that a new version of the book? or is that a remake of the 1984 movie? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't. I don't know.
So I mean, I'd have to see, because they keep, just because there was a version before doesn't necessarily mean it's a remake. You know, like with the Pet Cemetery that came out a little bit ago. That original movie is, in my mind, awesome. I mean, that was
it's great.
Really good movie. There's no reason to redo that. So,
Never.
was that a remake of that movie, or was that a new version of that book? Because you've got the Shining miniseries,
Yeah,
which I didn't watch.
I did.
That's not a remake of the Stanley Kubrick movie. That's a new version of the book.
Well, that's a Stephen King version.
Yeah, and that's a new version of the book. So this is not. Yeah, it's just an odd thing. They just keep saying reboot, reimagining, remake for anything, and why can't they just call this movie The Exorcist 4?
It shouldn't. It should be a continuation, not trying to reboot The Exorcist. This is what kind of bothers me about this whole thing.
Yeah, so
they can't reboot it.
They use that term, and when they say reboot, to me that means that's the same thing to me as a remake.
Yeah.
I was just going to read. Top Gun is that's coming out here in a few months. As of this, not in a few months, a couple weeks now. As of this recording today,
yeah,
that's a sequel.
That's a senior citizen Top Gun.
Yeah, I mean it could be. I mean Tom Cruise still looks really good.
I know, but they're still riding jets.
Yeah, you got to watch the trailer. I mean, it looks good. I'll see it. I mean, his Mission Impossible movies keep doing well, so why not? But just because there hasn't been a sequel to Top Gun since 1986, does that mean this is a reboot or a sequel? Can you call it a sequel, or is a reboot something that happens 20 years later and it's still a sequel? You know what I mean? I'm not up on these terms anymore because I think they're silly.
Well, they should get Berlin back to do a song called "Don't Take My Oxygen Away."
They might do that. But I mean, you know what I mean? I haven't looked it up too much. I mean, why are they calling this a reboot? Why don't they just call it Exorcist 4?
This reboot would mean they're going to remake the whole first one again. They can't do that. If they do that, they're going to be so crapped on if they do that by everybody.
I've seen a lot of things that they were like going to do that. There was going to be a miniseries, a TV miniseries remake, and that they call that a remake. But if they're going to call this Exorcist 4, just call it Exorcist 4. Why are you calling it a reboot?
I wonder if they will have elements of a remake within Exorcist 4 going back to when she was in the room with her and have somebody else play the part. And the person, Ellen Burstyn, making her look young, digitally making her look young for the part and redoing the back, the scenes before like that. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe that's what they mean. They go back. I don't know. There's just
not enough information from that quote
I can't do
in the article to really tell us anything, but it's just kind of interesting because from what I've seen and you've seen Halloween Kills by now, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I mean,
what did you think?
Well, to me, some parts were a little annoying, but all in all, I wasn't too hard on it.
So you liked it more than I did?
I think I liked it a little more. I just liked, I don't know. I guess I'm an idiot and just follow the whole Michael Myers thing oh, he's Michael Myers. He could just crap in a movie and.
I don't know. I'm really hard on that movie because there was no excuse for it to be that bad. They're just what? Because you watch the movie and you listen to him talk and you go, okay, that's all they need to do to defeat Michael is just let him go to his room and stare out the window. That's it.
Well, that's what he does.
So that's why I'm afraid, because the 2018 Halloween was all right. It was pretty good. It wasn't amazing or nothing. It was nothing that was like, oh, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. No, but the Halloween Kills, that was atrocious. I couldn't believe how bad that was.
Well, now it's Halloween Ends, and what is the next one going to be? Halloween Begins again, or whatever it is.
I don't know. Maybe
is that what it's going to be?
Maybe he will begin again. Maybe.
Is it the same actor, Nick Castle?
I don't care who plays Michael Myers.
Well, we know.
It's terrible. Halloween Kills has made me just incredibly dislike Michael Myers.
It's all about is just making money. That's it. They could just slap.
I want my memory wiped together. Of ever having seen those two movies.
They could just wipe two turds together and go, "That's Halloween."
Just wipe my memory of it. It hurts. It hurts, that movie. So I hope that The Exorcist 4 will not hurt like that one. And that's really what scares me. Well, nothing in the movie is going to scare me as much as what they might do. They're going to molest it.
Oh, it's harsh words. That's harsh words. Wait a minute. That's Halloween, like Exorcist. Like I said, The Exorcist, the next one that they're going to do with her, Ellen Burstyn in it. They have a hard enough time, which a sequel to The Exorcist, you know that they had a tough time making a sequel because they just had a perfect movie, and then after that, any movie they made was any Exorcist movie that they made, people refer back to the first one and go, "Oh, that's crap. That's not that."
Yes, it's. And we did a show on The Heretic, Jesse and I, and we did a lot. There was a lot of discussion in there about what went wrong, and I don't understand what happened. And I'd like to read the original screenplay because Linda Blair said the original screenplay was really good, but that's not what they made. And one of the reasons she did it was because she wanted to work with Richard Burton. And then Exorcist 3, which is good, is the actual concept that William Peter Blatty and William Friedkin came up. They came up with that to be Exorcist 2. So when that didn't happen, William Peter Blatty turned that script into a book, Legion, which seemed like the right way to go to me. Of course, the theatrical cut is not as good as the cut that, William Peter Blatty's director's cut, but it's just interesting to see the two side by side. But that's the best sequel. The best follow-up to The Exorcist is The Exorcist 3, which should have been called Legion, and Blatty fought and lost to get that movie called Legion. Because it was called The Exorcist 3, he didn't want it associated with The Exorcist 2, which was so bad. And if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. Just watch it. So you've seen it, but anybody
I want to see it again.
You need to see it. And I bought the Blu-ray of The Exorcist 2 Heretic with the extra footage that they cut out.
Was it at the dollar store?
No, I went and bought that Shout Factory, I believe it was. but yeah, it's just fascinating, because Jesse and I were always fascinated by different versions of movies and why they were made and what went wrong with that, and why what was that creative choice about, that type of thing. We always were fascinated with that type of stuff. So I don't know. I don't think we can say any more about this. I think we've covered everything at this point. I think we covered everything at this point from this one little quote and our little speculation talk that we can do right now. So, Mark from the Toys of Time Gone By, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
It's always fun to talk The Exorcist.
They have a lot of Exorcist toys.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so I will have... When we talk about The Exorcist again on the live stream, I will have the possessed Reagan Mego next time. I will have it.
Oh, that's too awesome. And you have to have the bed too. The little bed.
Well, I'll have to look that up. I don't know if they made a bed for that, but maybe I can make my own.
Yeah, you can make your own. Just grab like a Barbie bed or something like that.
For that. All right. Well, that's it for this time, and we will see you next time.